please welcome the incredible man in blue, man of steel, a man who's got bigger pecs than I do.
Where are you going with that one?
My incredible husband, Dan Martell.
Thank you. I love being on here with you, babes. This is always an incredible time. So
You do have big pecs.
I do. Luckily, that is a good thing. I've got good genetics.
Push-ups or chest press? What is chest?
All of the above.
Yeah.
Yeah,
good
and
genetics.
Plus.
You also work
stuff.
out very hard.
Yeah, well, that's all part of the protocol.
I love that.
Thank you.
Speaking of working out, no, I'm just joking. How you doing? We're actually on day 77, I think.
You count that stuff. Yeah, you screamed it yesterday to somebody.
I was off by 11
world
days.
schooling. So we are world schooling the world, traveling every 7 days almost. I think I'm on 12 countries. You're on 9 countries. With our 2 incredible boys, Max and Noah, who are 12 and 13, going on 26 and 29, I guess.
Something like that.
That absolutely love each other.
Yeah.
They're fighting all the time.
I think they do.
Well, that's the thing, is you can't be upset by something somebody said if you don't care about their opinion. So they obviously care about each other.
Oh, they care if they look at them.
Yeah, so they're super triggered easily, so they must love each other deeply. That's my 2 cents.
Yeah. I mean, I've learned a lot about parenting. Probably the most I've ever learned about parenting has been in the last couple months.
I've actually watched you transform. And I was saying that this morning to the team because I said, regardless of what happens from this adventure, like all the awesome experiences and the core memories, I said, all of that pales in comparison to the transformation I've seen in you.
Ditto.
Oh, really?
Yes.
No, I didn't know. Tell me more.
Okay, one of the biggest things, though, it's kind of like the most beautiful gift in these unpredictable moments is every woman's dream is a man that sees what needs to be done and does it without asking where the ketchup is.
And that's not me.
It's so not you.
But I have been gotten better at it.
I think the biggest thing is just, I don't think you've ever been so immersed in parenting.
Well, I haven't been so immersed in the lives of everybody in my house. I mean.
And then you actually see it's quite challenging and you're like, oh.
Experience. I mean.
You stepped it up.
Yeah. It's funny how, I have offices and I travel, so it's easy to kind of escape things or just not be present. But when we're all together,
Escape's a good word.
Together, escape things, run away. It's been, and guess what? Love it. Like I absolutely love it. I love the time I spend with everybody. I love the mini dates. I love the moments. I love the cuddles. I even love the challenges. I was telling that to somebody the other day. Like I don't think we go through things, we grow through things. And I appreciate you saying that you've seen a change or at least a level up. But I want to keep the flowers on you for a second because you have developed a skill that is so awesome, which is I don't care anymore. Like, but it's not that you don't care. You have removed the emotional friction to the environment.
Yeah.
Like watching the kids do stuff and you just look at me and be like, I don't care. And I'm like, yeah, good. Because the truth is they're doing it to get a reaction and they can't anymore, which makes you lethal. Like you're kind of a weapon mom now because like they can't manipulate your feelings. Yeah. And just to watch you do it just makes me so happy inside.
Meanwhile, I turn around and go cry in a closet.
Well, sometimes that is needed. Yeah.
Yeah. The lesson, I know I'll take the flowers. Thank you. And to put one flower on you.
I'll take one back.
Is I think the overarching thing that I've learned the most, and I've seen in you too in this trip, is how much that you showing up as a leader, as a father, has also reflected on leadership in life for you. I think you have more patience and understanding.
I know. Todd, actually, one of my CEOs of my media company, he said that to me this week. We were doing a one-on-one. And he says, what's changed? I was like, I don't know. Like, it's not like I finished a book or, had a crazy seminar experience. He just goes, yeah, you're different, good different, but definitely he saw the difference too. So world schooling for a win.
I was listening to Alex Hormozy today, and he said, he was talking about business and how most people give up not because they think that their product or service is in a red ocean, because that's like kind of the thing we try to avoid. Let's go to the blue ocean. And he goes, but the red ocean is actually proof that your clients exist. He goes, people give up not because they're in the red ocean, but because they think they actually don't put in the reps. And it's not that your product or service is bad. It's just you haven't marketed it well enough. And I was thinking about the difficulty that we've faced in like maybe our businesses while we're gone, because those challenges always exist, but they're heightened when you're in this sense of like, oh my God, everything's falling apart because the whole like travel thing was really, really hard. And we kind of like got past that bridge of how hard it is. Because there was one point where you're like, I'm done, we're going home.
Well, we were joking last night that Anne surprised you even got on the plane to go to Prague.
The what?
Like when we started off the trip.
Oh, yeah.
Like right at the beginning.
The first flight was canceled.
Yeah. We were all like, I think Renee's going to turn around. Like,
oh, no, I was determined.
I know. And then the first week was wild. Like it was all hard. We just kept at it.
Every city was hard. But I think it's like you put in the reps and you get through that, like the ugly part, and now you just know what to expect.
Yeah.
And even today I was talking to a friend. I'm like, I don't want to go home. And I know you're like, it's time, we can go home. The cycle is done. I'm like, no, it's not. Japan next.
Yeah.
But it is like the most, you can't learn what it's really like to do anything in life until you fully immerse yourself in it. And this is like full immersion parenting.
100%.
Also learning, the boys are going through puberty.
Oh yeah, we definitely picked probably the worst time to bring two, teenage boys on a wild homeschooling for the first time, not having any friends. It's been a challenge.
Yeah, but we're surviving. But
I don't even say I think thriving. Like personally,
yeah,
I'm proud of you. I'm proud of me.
Proud of you. Okay, I want to talk about like the habits too. So what are the habits that have worked, but also have allowed us to actually thrive during travel and during like those crap sandwiches that kept delivered day in and day out?
Yeah, I mean, I took a bunch of notes for today because I have a bunch of like takeaways. The one I wrote around the habits for me is the whole train together, stay together.
Oh man, so strong.
I know. And it's, I mean, we travel and meet other people, couples traveling. And, I just think it's interesting that some people don't work out and they don't work out as a team. Like, we're always coordinating the Ubers and what time are you going? Okay, I'll go with you. And
you're like, are you coming to the gym today? I'm like, no, I'm going for a run.
Yeah.
But it's that motivation too.
Yeah, but it's the train together, stay together. It's imagine how we would feel dealing with the pressure and noise of this crazy schedule if we were then losing our wins on the, the health side, right? So, yeah, I just think it's funny. I mean, even when we were in Dubai, right? And I was like, Renee, you should come to the gym. And you're like, where is it? And I was like, well, I've never been there, but, we could take these scooters to get there. Remember that morning? And then I didn't have the way there. And we had to go through a construction zone. And it was like it was almost like a friggin', adventure just to get to the gym. And then it was like one of the most beautiful gyms in all of Dubai.
The W?
And, yeah. And it was just a great experience. I don't know. I just think of that. And it's like, I think being with a partner in progress, that's the way I think about it, partner in progress, is a big idea for like traveling and keeping your sanity going.
For me, I loved it. Obviously working out is a motivation, but it was like those micro pockets of being with just you. Like sometimes it was just you and I at the gym, or it was just us in an Uber, or just us on a little scooter or moped. And those moments meant so much to me because sometimes our date nights while traveling have been cannibalized for the most part. So we had to find those moments to actually be together. And like that was the saddest part for me leaving Dubai, was how much I loved getting on those scooters and scooting around. And even Thailand, the mopeds.
Yeah.
So much fun. Let's talk about those mopeds. Do you have a story?
Do I have a story about the mopeds? No.
No story. Yeah, timing was like the scooters, mopeds. I mean, like a year ago, we were in Bali and we rented similar mopeds. And I was like, I'm not getting back on those ever again. And then we get to Thailand and I was like, this is so much fun.
Yeah, I think it was, and somebody on the team said that. They were like, I remember talking to Renee about her scooter experience in Bali. And then to see her in Thailand, just scooting around, bebopping and just like loving it.
Yep.
Yeah.
One of the things I told myself that I would do more of this year was to play more. So any opportunity to play, and it could be risky, like mopeds in Thailand is not necessarily safe.
Yeah.
But I did it in a safe way. And you respected it. You were very patient in teaching how to do it well. But what else did we do travel, like routine-wise, that has helped save us?
The other one I wrote down is rise together, win together. Okay? Again, I think because we've been doing it so long, we don't realize how abnormal it is. But the fact that we wake up pretty much at the exact same time and we sit down and we go through the same morning routine, right? Like this morning, we're out on the patio reading our books. And then having that time way before the kids wake up for you and I to like drink our coffee, do our journaling, talk about our day. To me, it's like some of the most, it's like an important part of staying sane in the travel is anchoring the morning and the day. Yeah. You know, because I've always said that like today is one yesterday, like kind of how you wrap up your day. But for me, we win if we start our day together, right? Because it's like we prep the day for what's to come. And like my 7:30 a.m. messages to you and the rest of the team on like, here's what the day looks like, to just like get everybody on the same page. Yeah. That way, if there's any conflicts, people can see it. I mean, I don't love that I have to do that, but it seems like a habit that creates a lot of clarity for everybody else. So yeah, I just think the morning routines, like we rise together, we win together.
Yeah, and there's something to be said about having that consistency. And it's like, if there's a part of a routine you love, it's like you look forward to it the next day. I look forward to the coffee with you and that silence. And even if it's 20 minutes or 30 minutes, it's just that little, and we don't even have to talk. That's the cool thing, is we're just there together. And it's like, hey, can I get you a coffee? Can I get you a coffee?
I think it's also self-care, like seeing your partner take care of themselves, the self-care, the working out, the morning routine, the reading. It's a decompression valve, because then I know you're not going to be frustrated with yourself for getting behind. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like imagine if you saw me sleep in.
I would think you're sick.
Yeah, like you would be like, there's something wrong with Dan. It's 7:30, he's still laying in bed. It
happens like once every year.
Maybe, you know? So it's just one of those things, I think, that's just like a beautiful routine and habit that keeps us grounded, even in the chaos of the travel.
Well, I mean, speaking of sleeping in, my favorite morning of the week is Sunday morning, when it's like you bring me coffee and I kind of set the tone maybe when you're allowed to be released. You come hang out and we chat, and I love that.
Yeah.
That's one thing I love. Other routines for me while traveling is kind of like just establishing this flow of who owns what when it's time to pack up and go. I've established a routine with Kinsey, our educator, that I like to have all of our clothes cleaned before we get to our next destination, not knowing what the laundry is going to look like there. So there's like this packing regimen, and then unpacking. It's like as soon as we get to the place,
we always
set up and then go.
Yeah.
And it takes like an hour now to do it all. We've moved so much. And then you just do your thing. You'll take the boys, you'll say, yeah, boys, let's go for a walk.
Yeah,
and
go for a massage this
go for a massage.
Just some silly stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the how you ramp up and, you know, like how you depart, how you arrive are, you know, if you can lock those in and figure out what needs to be true for everybody to just find their peace, it's just a great way to set up the space.
Yeah, and then even just like travel routine and checking your boarding passes because my name was wrong. Like little things you wouldn't know to think to review all the time until there's mistakes. And now you just know for next time. So like every city we get to, it gets smarter and smarter. And our routines that keep us grounded follow us no matter where we go. An extension of routine too is making sure that we don't lose sight of our relationship. And so prioritizing each other while we travel.
Yeah.
What is one thing that you do when we're on the road?
Well, here's what I know. No matter what's going on between us, our kids want one thing. They want mom and dad to be good. Mm-hmm. So they may not be good, but we need to be good. So my whole philosophy is like, when the world gets loud, I want to get quiet. So if there's chaos around us, flights delayed, lost luggage, kids fighting, I think it's funny because I think in the past, I would have made it worse. And now I'm like,
yeah,
let's get quiet. And that's actually something I've seen you do really well, which is you used to like kind of join the franticness of it. And now it's just like, no, I'm not going to do that. You disconnect it. So I think we're in the Maldives, leaving our resort, heading to the airport. And on the way, something happened, as it usually does, in the boat transfer where the boys start fighting. Now I remember what it is. And again, they're silly things. But then we're in the airport and one of our kids is just so beside himself, he's essentially threatening not to get on the plane. And I think any normal parent would be like, no, you got to get on the plane. Let's go. Security. We got to go through customs, etc. And you just look at Kinsey and say, cool, Kinsey, stay with them. We're gone. And I was like, oh, geez. And then I was just like, yeah, what you said, right? Because like, if the kids see a chink in the armor, and I think that's been the biggest thing is like, we actually now have the sixth sense of we know what is appropriate and what isn't. And anytime the kids are like, yeah, I want to do this, you're like, did your mom or dad say that was okay? It's like, we know that they're lying to us. Even last night, we're laying in bed, okay?
Yeah.
And you go, did you grab the iPads? And I go, I got one at least. He goes, no, you need both. And I got up and I go downstairs and guess who's on his iPad? I'm not going to call him out, but one of my kids. And didn't get upset, just put my hand out. He still didn't want to give me the iPad. I just grabbed it and I said, hey man, really not cool. You need to sleep, you know? And I walked away and he was all upset and came in and you're like, did he have it? And I was like, yeah. But again, it was like, world does its thing. We get quieter and the kids don't see us ever miss a beat. I think that's really important.
Too, like one of the things I noticed that you've done without me asking for it too, in terms of prioritizing each other, is how I have a much tougher time handling nighttime routine with the boys. I get so exhausted, and you've just like taken over. Like usually put them to bed, but now you've
I've always done the bedtime, but like
done
pretty
way
much
more now.
Well, just
and it's nice. You see that like mama needs those extra 20 minutes.
Oh yeah, well you know what I've had to do over the last few weeks is one of our kids loves to be close to mama, and I know when you're like done and you're going to bed and they would wake you up, and I was like, I sat them down and I said, look, crack the door open. If mama's sleeping, you're not allowed to wake her up. If you want to say goodnight to her, right now's the time. Because we always transition into like snack time and just chill time. And snack time and chill time, it's yes, snack time, but also go give mama a hug and a kiss and say goodnight because she may be going to sleep. Yeah. Right? And I think that actually, they did it last night. It was so cute. Max went over to your door, opened it up, looked over, you were sleeping, and he did this. And Noah's like, oh, darn.
Cross your arms over the head.
Yeah, he literally was like,
don't
off,
go.
nope, no go zone. And Noah went, oh, darn. So, I mean, yeah, I have no problem. I mean, like you said, I have no problem with I don't have anxiety. I don't find it's hard.
Yeah. So, I mean, one of the things that is like highlighted on this trip that in terms of like helping prioritize each other too was realizing that we're on the same team and we want the same outcome. Because it used to be like keeping score. You did this or I did that. And at the end of the day, we're like telling who did most. And now it's like, that doesn't matter. Because really we're trying to achieve this like harmonious family life. And whatever we can do as a couple to get there, now it's like not keeping score. And there's less guilt. There's less resentment. Like I love that, you have your media team in town and you love going to the gym, and there's moments that, I don't have energy for the gym or I don't want to do some of the things, but I know it fills your love tank. And I don't push back. I'm like, you go, do your thing, because I know you love doing that.
I do.
Then you come home as a better person. Meanwhile, if I had it my way, I would have alone time every night.
Yeah.
The hot bath. And
although yesterday I feel like you had a Dan Martell moment.
It was so weird.
Yeah.
It was so weird.
You got up and you're like, I want to be around people. Hey, team, what are you guys doing?
Alexa's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I don't know. Where are you? She's like, we're at the hotel. I'm like, I'll be right there. 20 minutes later. And that's so unlike me. And then I just showed up. And then we went out for dinner, which was fun.
Yeah.
But I love how we respect each other's energy, because you're the extroverted people top you up, and the introverted alone time tops me up. And there's no resentment. There's no trying to force somebody else to be something they're not. And you tried for the longest
I did,
time.
yeah. I'm laughing because I'm like, my life got dramatically easier when I just learned to accept who you were 100%.
Yeah.
And it wasn't bad. It was just different. And I don't need it to be different.
No, like even before recording this, you're like, hey, do you want to go to the city after? And I'm like, no. Like, we live across the street from a beach. I don't. And you're like, well, the team's going to go to this company and sounds great. And we have like a small window to go. And then we have dinner close to us. And I'm like, I don't really have any interest in going.
Yeah. And you honored that. You just said, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
And I was like, totally cool.
And they're like, can I go? I'm like, absolutely. You go. I'll figure the rest. I think it's like, it took us a while to get to this point in our marriage too. But also when you allow it to just be what it is, it's just easier. I know you'd love me to go with you 100%. And I know that I would love for you to be with me here. But at the same time, it's like, we're both going to go do something that's just as fun.
Yeah. The way I see it, yes, our relationship, yes, our kids, is the world will show you where you're not free.
Yeah.
So wherever you've got friction around a desire for the outcome, the thing you're doing to be any different than what it is, that's a me thing, not an anybody else thing. So it's kind of funny when I stopped wishing it was different and just allowing it to be what it is without a desire for it to be different, then I got happier and it was easier for me to like deal with life. And this is, yes, parenting and traveling, but also like building businesses. And then it's funny because I feel like that energy allowed you to like settle in and then almost like not immediately react thinking I'm going to react. Like sometimes it's funny how our response is based on it's
like old version of you.
Well, yeah, but it's just like you're getting ready for a fight and all of a sudden the fight doesn't happen because I'm not acting that way. And then I don't get that version of you, which creates the fight. So then all of a sudden we're not fighting anymore, but it had nothing to do with you. It had to do with me.
Yeah.
It's kind of awesome.
On that note too, in terms of when we argue in those repair attempts, I feel it in myself. I used to get enraged, and you too, and you wouldn't talk to me for like 3 days, 4 days.
I used to be a really good.
Oh yeah. I was like, I need to repair this now. And you're like, let's wait a week. So it didn't really bode well. And now I catch myself in the moment and was like, that was an overreaction on my behalf. I will go up to you right away and say, sorry, like my bad.
Yeah. And I'm smart enough to accept it.
Yes, there's also
because like I used to be like, no, that wasn't cool. And then I'm like, I appreciate you saying sorry. It doesn't make the situation right, but I also don't have to continue making you wrong. And I think that's a big distinction.
Well, like the maturity in that and in us, but it's not like it's right or wrong and trying to be the person who's right. And that's like looking at relationships and trying to compare to like some of the ways that I thought a great relationship was and trying to hold you to those standards. And that was an impossibility. But when it came to arguing and fighting, we used to have pretty colorful fights.
Yep.
And
professionals.
It's just like,
we're
for
really
what?
intense about everything we do.
Yes, but for what? And the repair attempts aren't to make the other person shut up or to like completely mute and silence the issue. It's like, in this moment, I overreacted, I'm sorry. And we can come back and talk about the thing whenever it's appropriate to talk about. But that took like 2 years of us really working hard on that.
Yeah.
And now we're good at it.
Very good.
Very good. And I know sometimes you'll say sorry when you don't know what you're saying sorry for. Because you don't have the energy to.
Because I'm a fucking complete idiot. I mean,
Yeah. You're like, I'm sorry for what?
yeah, it's like yesterday you kind of said something to me and I'm like, I don't know, but okay.
Sometimes I think it's the cutest thing when you get so confused because you don't know how to react to something.
I do.
You're like,
I'm not smart enough to figure this out. A man who always has the
words. I get you. Okay, so let's talk about making decisions.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you and I have kind of different methods of doing this, but big decisions, small decisions, you're really good at making the decision. How do you do it?
Well, I can make decisions, but it turns out I live with somebody else that also has opinions on decisions. So that's a dumb way of making a decision. So I call it the All Options Audit. Okay. Which it's a philosophy from design thinking. If anybody's into designing and engineering and creativity, where you separate the decision from the ideation. And it sounds crazy, but think of it this way. I remember a while ago we were debating, I think it was like going to London or you were going to go to Paris or London or whatever. There was like some major travel stuff and there's like different ways we could do it. I knew if I just made the decision, then you probably wouldn't have felt like you contributed to it. And what I did, and I do this often, and I'll tell you, and I don't even know if you know I do this, the all option audit is essentially reviewing every permutation of the potential decision with you. And I go wild. One option is wild, we go, the kids stay. Another option is one kid goes alone, you and I bring one. Like, you know what I mean? Like I go through all the options and I know you're like, well, I would never do that. Okay, cool. Yeah, I love that I got your feedback. So then I just go through it. And then usually throughout that conversation, it gets you comfortable with the decision.
Totally. I've done this with Max before.
Yep. So what's interesting, and it's always my desire, is it gives everybody the perception of contribution to the outcome. So then they don't fight it. See, if I work with you to build the plan, you can't fight the plan. Yeah. So if you help build the logic for the decision, then you won't fight the decision. But if I just make it, then I'm going to deal with, I never agreed with this or whatever. But like yesterday we had a big decision to make and we sat there for 45 minutes going through all the options. You remember that conversation? And at the end, we made a decision and I guarantee we're not going to change our mind. We're going to feel good about it and we'll remember that conversation.
But when I participate in making the decision, the same as you, then we feel more invested.
Well, that's the whole point. Yeah, it was like, but I actually deliberately break it down with you all the time, or even with my team. Yeah. Even though there's a direction I know I want to go, I know if I don't review all the options that it might create second guessing or not feeling like they contributed. So
the problem, and I'm going to poke hole at this just for 1 second, is that sometimes when there's too many options, it's quite overwhelming. And there's also pressure to make a decision when you've given me 10 options and now I have to think through everything. Mm-hmm. See, you can be very quick at making decisions. You're either going to go to the city after this or not. And I go through, oh wait, but what about the kids? What about this? What about that? What about that? Right? I need to review like all the options and what's involved in all those options.
That's why I bring them all up.
Yeah, like are we going to go home early for the holidays or stay?
Yeah. And literally, again, this is something I do that I don't think I've never told you I do, but it's the all option audit where I have to sit back and I have to audit all the potential options and I have to review each one of them with you. And oftentimes, you just alluded to it, sometimes you go, I can't make the decision right now. I need to think about it, which I also honor.
That's like most of the time.
Almost every time. But I think it's one of those things where in the past it felt slow, but I underestimated how much faster it was because it didn't create future issues that slowed us down.
Ooh, doing the work up front.
100%. It's much better for us to take that 45 minutes yesterday to review all the options, to know I don't have to deal with the hour conversation in 2 days, another hour conversation in a week, another 3-hour problem that it brought up that we think we didn't talk about, but we did because I didn't slow it down.
Do you ever do it to favor an outcome?
Every time I know where I want to end up, and I may ask the questions and provide feedback in a way that guides it.
I did it. It reminds me of the time that I was I had to dress Max up for pictures or Christmas something or other. And I wanted him to wear a particular outfit that he was absolutely going to say no to. So I put out that outfit, and then next to it, I put out a tuxedo that he was going to be a hell no to. And he walked into the room, and I said, which one do you want to wear tomorrow for picture day? And he's like, well, duh, that one. I got what I wanted.
But that's actually how, like, children want to feel like they're in control of creating their world. And if you say, do you want to go to the beach or not? Yeah. Then you'll probably get no. If you say, what do you want to wear to the beach, this outfit or that outfit, or what do you want to do at the beach? They're going to feel like they're creating the decision of going or not, but they didn't because you didn't give them the option. So I definitely apply that.
Well, that's like what we've done with the boys' activities too, is we made a list of here's all the possible things you can do in Sydney, Australia. Sign up for it. And so they would go and they'd be, okay, this, sign up. And they would sign up for the things that they want to do. They made the decision.
That is the All Options Audit at play with that aspect of the kids.
Okay.
So you've seen me do this since we started the trip.
Yeah, but maybe you did it before.
I did, but I definitely have been more thoughtful because the proximity creates pressure.
So what happens then if you've done this work, you made the decision, and you find out, you're into it, you're like, well, maybe this is a mistake. How do you audit it there?
Okay, most people create more pain in their life by the fear of making the wrong decision than actually the downside potential of making the decision. Does that make sense?
Totally makes sense.
So the reason why I'm so good at making decisions quickly is because I already know what the opposite is and I can live with it and it's not that bad. Whereas delaying it and the friction it creates and sometimes the concern and the fear of what'll happen, that is oftentimes more than actually just dealing with the downside and reverting back. Right. So Jeff Bezos has this great concept called type 1 decisions and type 2 decisions. Type 2 decisions are ones that you can go into and out. It's like, a revolving door. You go in the door, you can come back if it was a bad decision. Type 1 is like a one-way shoot where when you enter, it's hard to come back. Like buying a company would be a type 1 decision. Yeah. Hiring somebody is a type 2 decision, right? Mm-hmm. So traveling to a country, type 1 decision. Deciding if we're going to the beach or the water park, type 2 decision. Yeah. And so I always break those down so I don't treat them the same because they don't need the same amount of vigor.
Okay, I don't make decisions that way. If you're asking me how I make decisions, especially on this trip, because of the kids being involved, it's very much the energy of the outcome I'm trying to curate. And we think about these this being a dream trip for a lot of people, and I'm like, how come my kids don't want to go out and surf every day and don't want to go? It's just not of interest to them. And so my decisions are based on how can I make this easy for all of us in this moment, not necessarily what tomorrow or the next day looks like. Because sometimes it's just about being in it right now. And that's why I think we're a good match, because you can take these type 1 decisions and calculate it and be like, here are the options. I can't even think through that sometimes because it's a lot. Okay, let's talk about world schooling. This has been a dream of yours. I mean, probably forever, but at least for the last 12 years. Yeah. And there's a reason why we've learned very quickly. There's a lot of people that just can't do this, won't do this because it's difficult. But we have gone through the fire to figure out some things, lessons learned only because we're actually in it. What are the hacks that we've uncovered for world schooling?
Well, I got a couple. The first one that I want to highlight is the future that our kids are going to live in is completely different than the one we experience, and obviously ours is completely different than what our parents experience. So I just see the future of my kids' work experience, which applies to schooling, which is it's very dynamic, right? If you think about it, this idea of today, these digital nomads that live nowhere, travel the world, right? We have access to things. There's this philosophy called, access to everything, own nothing. Homes, boats, cars, etc. I mean, we've been in the thick of it. Office spaces. So even the way we do our world schooling with our kids, where we'll get a co-working space and set up there, like they've learned this, and I think we forget that they've learned this because they wouldn't have learned this if we were putting them in school. So my kids understand co-working's a thing. They understand how to pay for it, sit down, the coffee station's free, not that they drink coffee, but the water and all the other stuff. And that they can set themselves up and put their headphones on and lock in and listen to music and work for a good 3 hours and have the rest of the day to themselves. I mean, that to me, when I think of this whole future proofing themselves for how the world's going to be, the way we've set up the world schooling, I think is probably the best through example than any classroom they could ever learn from. And that was always the goal. That's why it's called world schooling. I wanted to use the world as the classroom for them to learn. And even the way they have their backpacks and their water bottles and they like leave for the day and go set up at a coffee shop and work off their laptop, like they're little adults. Most adults don't know how to do that in a fucking office.
Yeah.
Like they don't know how to get shit done. And these little dudes are doing it.
Yeah, the biggest hack too, and it was a joke that we started a couple months ago, was like, oh no, the bus is coming. So the most important thing, routine for kids, even for adults, but like the routine of leaving the house and starting school at the same time. We established a time. It said school starts at 9 a.m. And the big hack was like, pack your bag as though the school bus is coming because we're leaving. And so it sets them up for success. The other thing I learned too is that every kid is different. And one kid likes to do school first thing in the morning, get it out of the way. And the other kid is more of an afternoon kind of learner. And so we've made adjustments, which is fine. But it was just like the routine is the most important thing. And it's protecting that schedule so that they can learn. And the other thing too that we learned in this is that a kid they can't actually comprehend the work if they're overstimulated or if there's too much distraction, too much change.
Yep.
And so the big hack too is that if we're traveling one day or we're crossing more than 2 hour time zone difference, that the day or two after travel is not a learning day, from the sense that they're not sitting at their laptop and actually doing the work, but learning happens everywhere if you give it the opportunity. And we just got into that flow to realize, hey, tomorrow's a travel day. It means there's going to be no learning. And the next day, because we're crossing 5 time zones, they'll probably be exhausted, and that's okay. So just go with the flow until we decide on the day. It's a learning day. They sit down,
we
do
pretty
work.
much don't do weekends because the school is fluid.
Yeah.
So
Saturday, Sunday, they'll be doing homework.
Yeah, because if the travel day's on Tuesday, we just they got to do 5 days at least.
They don't even know what day of the week it is.
I don't even know what day of the week it is. So it's worked out great.
It's Tuesday.
The other thing that I think this is the big realization and why I really enjoyed, so far the time with the kids, like I would grab one, you'd grab one, and I would work, they would do school, is realizing how AI has changed the way that they can learn. And I will tell you, our kids are using an AI powered homeschooling platform, but even that isn't using AI the way I think. So I remember I was with Max in Thailand, or Noah. I think it was at Max. I was at Max in Thailand, and we're learning. He's learning about plural possessive pronouns, which means I had to learn about plural possessive pronouns, and I had no idea. And there was all these different options, and we were doing this test, and I was like, "It's not that hard, man." And then I couldn't get the answer right. So I remember in that moment, I sat down and I created a prompt that was specific to Max. Okay, what does Max love?
Planes.
He loves planes. My son loves planes. He loves learning about planes. He learns everything about planes. So all I did was I created a system prompt for Max to learn any topic through the lens of aviation. And essentially I asked AI, so I created this for Max. He just puts in plural possessive pronouns, hits enter, and it creates a lesson plan for Max to learn the topic. Now, the school says don't use AI. And yet he's using AI not to cheat, not to get the answer, but to learn. And I showed him, I said, here's what it's telling you to learn. He says, I still don't get it. And I say, tell it you don't get it. He's like, how? And I said, make it more visual. Make it simpler. Give me more examples. And we just kept prompting it until it gave a lesson plan that he could learn and a table and a structure. And then all of a sudden it was 100, 100, 100.
Yep.
And then he challenged me, and guess what? I was getting them wrong. So he stopped asking me for feedback. But I did the same thing with Noah. Created Noah a custom prompt for learning any subject through the lens of soccer.
Soccer.
And what Noah did, he said, hey, I want to make us a competition test. Mm-hmm. So I used AI to create a competition test with Noah. And I remember we got to a tiebreaker, and then it was a tiebreaker, and I did win. Luckily, because holy cow, I'm not very smart in school, considering what grades they're in. But I just think the future of learning is using AI to teach me how to learn. And I do this in my work, but I watch my kids do it. And most schools would tell them you're not allowed to use that for school.
Yeah. To wrap this up, if you're interested in doing this whole world schooling thing, what is one last piece of advice you'd give somebody?
I would say, when I look at there's a principle behind all the things we talked about today, which is expecting anybody else to make you good is like a losing proposition. So when I look at, and these are not concessions, this is just a desire to not make it somebody else's change that makes me happy. You know what I mean? Do I wish my kids didn't fight the way they fight? Yeah. Mm-hmm. I have zero control over that. Trust me, I've tried every way possible. What I had to change, and what I saw change in you, was that we go, I can be calm, I can be present, I don't have to emotionally react myself, right? Mm-hmm. And I think when people think of the pressure of traveling the world, and it's so freaking, it'd be so crazy. If you want it to be crazy, I think the world can be crazy out there, and you can be calm inside if you choose to have a different perspective and a different lens. Oftentimes people are pissed off at other people for stuff they're not doing.
Yeah.
Right? They get mad at this person's lazy. It's are you dialed in? This person's disorganized. Did you help them get organized? This is happening, and it's why are they fighting? Well, did you create the environment for them to fight? See, those are things I can control. And anytime we've had any friction in this travel, I've just come back to me. And I would encourage people listening that are inspired, do it, because the world will show you where you're not free. And the freest person in the room is the person with no secrets, which means you got to go shine the light on those dark parts of your soul that you might not want to talk about. But that's where the magic happens, because sunlight sanitizes all.
And then, Dan, can you set it up for Renee? What about you? What do you say?
Yeah. What about you? What would you say to people on the edge of doing something like a world schooling, or even just traveling more, but they're worried? How would you get them to make a decision?
I lost sleep packing and preparing for this trip, because I considered every possible scenario of worst case scenario, lost luggage and missed flights and canceled flights. And listen, we've been through everything.
And more.
But, I was actually reflecting on this today, sitting on the beach in Australia.
Oh, geez.
Getting ready for this. Exactly. Getting ready for this recording, coming off a diabolical morning with a teenage son, realizing there are so many gifts in every moment. The gift of getting, being on that beach, the gift of meeting such incredible people and tasting some really great foods and experiences and cultures. It's you can sit there and think about how crappy the start of the trip was. Our first flight was canceled. Or just experiencing some really crazy things in different countries. Or you can focus on all the great stuff that has happened. I think that we get so caught up in focusing on the tough things that we fail to actually see the beauty that's around us. And if you can just stop and look at think about 5 amazing things in this room, 5 amazing things in front of you, it makes the tough times so easy, because there's so much beauty. Yeah, it's tough. It's challenging. There's a reason why most people don't do this.
It's supposed to be.
It's supposed to be. And we crush it. We now have an MBA in world touring.
A degree in something I didn't know I needed.